Let's not waste any time. Let's get to it. We just talked about last hour, the Phoenix Suns resting players rather than playing, Kevin Durant and those guys and getting them some chemistry tonight against the Lakers. The Sacramento Kings resting players against the Golden State Warriors, but they have nothing to play for as far as seeding. This is a whole different matter. Tonight, the Dallas Mavericks are sitting Kyrie Irving, Tim Hardaway Jr., Josh Green, Maxi Kleber, and Christian Wood in a very winnable game against the Chicago Bulls. And here's the whole context, Rob. The Mavericks are right behind Oklahoma City in the play-in, or for the play-in. They're in 11th. Oklahoma City's in 10th. If the Mavericks win their next two games, and tonight is Chicago, which is resting guys, that's a winnable game, to say the least. And then the next game would be against San Antonio, which ain't trying to win. Very winnable game. If Oklahoma City loses Sunday against Memphis, and Memphis might rest guys, they might not. We know Memphis has won a lot of games without Ja Morant and without other top players. So I don't think that's going to be an easy one for OKC. If Dallas had won these two games and OKC loses Sunday, Dallas gets in the play-in, Rob. That seemed to be the route they were trying to go. Remember a few days ago, there was talk about, there was leaked. They might sit Kyrie and Luka for the rest of the season so they can get that number one pick in this year's draft. It's a top 10 protected pick. They'll probably get number 10 or something like that. Or I'm sorry, number 11 or number 10. But it's top 10 protected. If it's outside of the top 10, then they lose it to the Knicks as a part of the Kristaps Porzingis trade. Well, Luka wanted to go for it and try to get in the play-in, forget that pick. And that seemed to be the way Mark Cuban and the franchise were going to go. Cuban even said this Wednesday. He said the guys don't want to do that, meaning tank. Players aren't going to do that. Players don't do that. Jason Kidd wanted to go for it. Luka wanted to go for it. Luka said, when there's still a chance, I'm going to play. So that's not going to happen yet. I respect that. And now Jason Kidd came today, spoke before the game, and said that here it is. We were fighting for our lives, this is Jason Kidd, and understanding this is a situation we're in, but the organization has made the decision to change. All right. And then Kidd even said the decision was made by Mark Cuban and Nico Harrison. He said he was not, that's the GM, Nico, and he said he was not involved in the decision-making process. So I think, Rob, Jason Kidd clearly wanted to play, go for the win, and obviously Luka did. And to make matters even more ridiculous, Luka Dončić is playing a quarter. Now, I know you want to go off as I do, and I think we agree on that. So I'll let you. No, but I'll let you go off. But what I'm going to say is this, and then I know you'll go off, and we probably have the same thoughts. This, and again, it's not. I haven't talked to anybody down there. Haven't talked to Luka or any of his people. Rob, it's been thrown out there. Now Luka's got like 3 years left on his deal. But it's been tossed out there that could Luka leave the Mavericks? Could he want out if they aren't building the team the right way around him? Now, we haven't seen an international player do that. Dirk stayed when they let his buddy Steve Nash go, ended up winning a championship. Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili. I know Duncan, didn't grow up in America, but Duncan, Manu, Tony Parker, they stayed in San Antonio. We talked about Giannis, Rob. He stayed in Milwaukee when everybody said he should leave. So maybe an international guy won't want to do that. But it's out there, right? Like, let's talk about that. Rob, this is the type of thing that could tick Luka Dončić off. And I get it. Sometimes I'm not saying you always kowtow to the superstar and you just kiss his feet. But I am saying he is absolutely fully within his rights. I understand it. I would probably feel the same way. I'm playing for an organization that doesn't want to compete. I'm playing for an organization that has me, a top 5 player in the league, Kyrie Irving, who can score on anybody, and we're tanking for a freaking 10th pick, most likely. I'm trying to win championships. I got a legacy I'm trying to build. I'm trying to go down as one of the greatest of all time, and I'm playing for some chumps. Some chumps that decide. If you were going to mail it in, why didn't you do it 2 weeks ago? Why didn't you do it at the trade deadline instead of trading for Kyrie? You decide with 2 games left? What the? I mean, look, I want Luka to stay, or I've wanted Luka to stay. I would have loved for Luka to stay in Dallas. But if this ticks him off to the point where he's like, I'm out, you know what? And the fact that he's going to go out there tonight and play for a quarter, that's like him sticking it in the owner's face as far as I can tell. I mean, and then, Rob, what about the dudes that are playing tonight? Are they supposed to just go out there and go through the motions? You don't want to win. Why even send them out there? I mean, just call Adam Silver and say, you know what, we're not playing tonight. It'd be one thing if it's so obvious and blatant, and you're even talking about it. You're talking about we don't want to win without saying that exact phrase. You're talking about we don't want to make the play-in because we want to get this draft pick. And Adam Silver got to put his foot down. Do you think David Stern would allow this? He's got to get fined. Mark Cuban's got to get fined. I know it won't be anything to him, but this is ridiculous.
100% a disgrace, an NBA disgrace. And I hate to keep bringing up the late David Stern, but we know it. The NBA worked differently, Chris. It worked differently. Adam Silver has been run over, roughshod. What are they doing? Refund everybody's money, Chris. If you're not going to play, give people their money back. Allow me to go to the box office or credit my credit card that I paid for the tickets. I paid $400 for tickets. I want my money back if you're not going to compete. I didn't come here to watch the Harlem Globetrotters in an exhibition. This is NBA basketball. Didn't they go to the conference finals last year, Chris, or am I wrong? So you mean to tell me that you're going to waste Luka and let another year melt by? To just throw the towel in? How? It makes no sense. You might get on a run. Kyrie and it might get hot, Chris. And you know what? Maybe some other team things happen. Somebody might get hurt. You don't even know what could happen. Maybe the guys that they have, they decide to tighten up a little bit on defense and make it work, or they have the most unbelievable offensive explosion, Chris, together that we've ever seen in a postseason run with those two scorers. Yep. You don't know. And instead, you're worried about a pick. You shouldn't have made the damn trade if you're so worried about the pick. You couldn't have worried about it before.
And, Rob, you and I have said it. Most lottery picks don't pan out.
How many picks don't pan out? When Danny Ainge is in Utah, you know why, Chris? Because he had 1 million picks in Boston. Stop it with the picks.
Thank you. I mean, Rob, and I'm glad you brought it up. Look, do I think Dallas would win the West? No. But with Kyrie and Luka, who have played well together offensively, I got a chance every night.
You have a chance, Chris.
And even if they just get to the second round, Rob, that's exciting. Everybody's not going to win it. We will want to see that. They just beat the Kings the other night when the Kings were trying to win. They played the Sixers tough the other night. They played the Warriors tough in a loss. They played the Lakers. They beat the Lakers, who have been beating teams. They played the Grizzlies. I mean, it's.
How about this,
They've
Chris?
been close in a lot of these games. Again, I'm not saying there's some great team, but Rod, you're right. With Kyrie and Luka, you got a shot.
You can't ignore that. And here's the other one. What if they get the Nuggets in the first round, Chris, and that most people have discounted the Nuggets, that they're a weak number 1 seed? Yep. What if they beat the Nuggets?
Yep.
Changes the whole playoff picture, doesn't it?
Absolutely. This is bad on so many levels. Just the fact that you're giving up. It's called quitting. It's called quitting. All right, they're quitting. The fact that you looks like you've upset. It looked from here. Do you agree with me on Luka? Why is he playing? I respect Luka for saying, look, I'm going out there. This is some BS. I'm going out there. And they're only going to let him play a quarter. Rob, do you agree with me that this looks like an upset Luka to me?
It's, you know why? It's Slovenia night. And the people have shown up and bought tickets, so he cannot not play at all. Okay, that's what it is. And again, to just do a token quarter, Chris, he'd be better off setting up a booth and signing autographs during the game, during the exhibition.
I feel Slovenia or something like that, right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that.
But that's correct. That's the only reason he's playing the quarter, because people bought tickets in advance for this night.
I don't know. Okay, maybe if Luka's not look, I would. He said he wants to play earlier. I would think he'd play. That he'd be upset by this. Maybe he isn't, but he should be. If I were him, I would be. And Kyrie and all. I mean, I would think, Rob, too. You one thing I will say, you got enough juice if you're Luka to say, "Let me play. I'm playing." And the others, Kyrie may feel like he's not in that position because he wants to give him a contract.
Right.
And he just got there. But this is weak. This is weak. That weak. That's what it is.
It's as weak as it gets.